What's up, YouTube? Today I want to talk about the Holosun 510C, which is going to be an open reflex sight for your AR-15 platforms. I just kind of want to go over why I purchased this red dot, do a little review on it, kind of go over some perks, and again, how it's been running. I've had it for a little over 3 years now, and it's been really, really nice. So again, I just kind of want to talk about the reasons why I got it, some perks about it, maybe how to operate it a little bit, and yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so we'll go ahead and get into the review part of it. Let's go ahead and talk about battery life, reticle options, QD levers, and a little bit about the field of view. So the first reason I got this is it was going to be for one of my CQB rifles, or my main rifle, I should say, my go-to rifle. I'm not saying I'm out there doing CQB, but basically something for up close. So I wanted to have a good field of view. I'm not saying the tube style red dots like the Aimpoint T2s or the Holosun 407Bs won't do the job. I just wanted a bigger field of view, and the Holosun 510C really does it for me. It was either going to be the EOTech EXPS or the Holosun. The EOTech's about a couple $100 more. Not only did I save some money by purchasing the 510C compared to the EOTech, but there's a few other reasons why I'm glad I went with this. So the first one is going to be the battery life. The battery on this one is going to be 50,000 hours, which is awesome. I've had this since 2020 and I have not changed this battery yet. I've done plenty of dry firing. It's been on 2 different rifles so far. I've shot it plenty and the battery's still running well. And another perk of it, you don't have to remove the red dot to change the battery because it's going to be a side tray, which is nice. Just to kind of go over the battery a little bit, I do think it's highly worth it as far as compared to the EOTech's battery life. I know they're going to run on AA's or so, which is really handy. I think this CR, I think it's 032, it's going to be worth it. As long as you have one extra one or so on your kit somewhere, I think you'll be good to go, because like I said, a few years now and I haven't changed it. It's been running really well. Also on that, I also want to talk about the solar failsafe, which is nice. If your battery ever does run out, it's going to also run off of the failsafe part, activates from the sun and kind of stores battery life from the sun. So that's another really cool perk of having the 510C, is if you ever do happen to run out of battery, an emergency backup failsafe right there from the solar, which is really nice. So that's another perk of the 510C. So also the shake awake. I love just grabbing my rifle and it is ready to go. I'm not sure, there we go. Every time I grab it, boom, it's just on. I don't have to worry about pressing on or off, nothing like that. And that's 3 years now. So but yeah, so there's a couple different settings as far as how long it stays on for. But it does turn off after a little bit for not touching it, which is going to help save that battery. So that is pretty cool, the shake awake, even though it does turn off once you're done touching it. So yeah, that's kind of it for the battery. I just wanted to go over that a little bit and the perks of that. So far we have the field of view, which is really nice, having that square style for up close, a bigger field of view compared to tube style red dots, which is really nice, and the battery life so far. So 2 big perks of the 510C. Also the solar failsafe for the battery. After that is going to be the QD lever. I really like this QD lever. Basically, take this upper right here. It's nice to, you're just going to press this little button back here and that's going to open the lever. Once you want to put it on your rifle, have it locked in there, I kind of push it forward a little bit to make sure it's tight, and then pull that lever back and you're good to go. The thing's not going nowhere. It holds 0, which is nice. And you can also, once you put it on there and you want to make sure, you can tighten it down a little bit more just to be on the safe side. But that is really nice having that on there. So if you ever, for some reason, have a disaster and you have to get this off quick, you can just take that off and then you're good to go. Or if you want to change it to a different rifle. And really quick, if you are taking your red dot off for whatever reason and you want to kind of remember your 0, it's nice to have some witness marks of where you have your red dot on. I know it's kind of a side topic, but just a little tip there. If you do put your red dot on there and you get it zeroed, do a little bit of witness marks to where you know you have it, the Picatinny part you're using. That way, if you do happen to take your red dot off for whatever reason, when you put it back on, you can kind of look for those marks and put it exactly where you have it. For me, with my red dots, I'm always running it as far as I can on the upper without touching the handrail. That's going to give you a bigger field of view. I'm going to do a video more on that in the future, but just a little heads up. I see people out there with the red dots kind of back here, and it can work if you zero it, it's fine, but you're going to have more of the body or the housing in your eye, if that makes sense, or in your view. The further out you put it on the upper, you're gonna have less housing in your eye and more field of view. So just a little perk for you. Sorry to get off topic there. I kind of wanted to just go over the QD lever though. That is another perk of the 510C. That upper, sorry about that. All right, so QD lever, which is nice. Like I said, being able to change it from rifle platforms or different weapons, being able to change it out, it's nice. Or like I said, if you have a disaster, you have to get it off there quick. So yeah, that's another perk of the 510C. And just a little heads up, when you do get the 510C, or if you do get the 510C, it's not gonna have this little, if you see this little square right here, this is the spacer. When you get the 510C, it's gonna come at an absolute witness, which means it's basically a little bit lower without that spacer, and it's gonna be in line with your front post or your front sight if you have one. The spacer is gonna take it up to a lower third, a co-witness, which is gonna make that front sight or front post a little bit lower than the reticle. So just to throw it out there, it does come absolute, and this is not included. The spacer, I believe, is around 15 or so. I do highly recommend it if you do decide to get the 510C, having it at a lower third witness. It's nice just to have a little more heads-up posture. On top of the Unity Fast Riser, that's another story. I've done a video in the past. Make sure to check it out if you have a box-style optic. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. This does come absolute witness without the spacer. I'll post a link below in the description for both, for the 510C and the spacer below, just so you know if this is something you're interested in for your AR-15. But yeah, so after that, as far as the reticle options, which is going to be another perk and the reasons why I chose this, it's pretty cool. You can either do the donut with the dot in the middle style optic, which I'll go ahead and show right here. You can either have this reticle, which is going to be the standard EOTech style reticle, which is really nice for CQB, using that bottom dash as like a reference for your holdover. And that's kind of a perk or the reason behind that one, especially for if you're considering for something up close. But I found myself using the other option, which is what I want to talk about. The 510C, you can do just the dot only, which is, let's see if I can get on camera, which is right here. That's just the MOA, 2 MOA dot only by itself, which is really nice. I like that with the field of view combined with that small little reticle right there. You can obviously turn it up a little bit brighter if you want it to be a little bigger. But yeah, that's another option you can do, just a dot only, which is nice. So your typical 2 MOA, like your Aimpoint T2 red dot, Holosun red dots, basically your standard red dot reticle, which is nice having that option in there. And I know this is green. I went with green a few years ago thinking it was cool. Some people say it helps their eye pick it up faster, but to be honest, I've been liking the red better now. So if I were to get a new one, I would just go with red. But everybody's different with their eyesight. Just want to throw it out there. If you do want a green reticle, you can get one instead of red. So that is an option. You can do the donut with the dot in the middle or the dot by itself. And then the third and final option is going to be the circle only without the dot in the middle. So just a circle. And that's going to give you a big field of view, but you're going to be kind of limited as far as precise shots up close, because like I said, you're just going to have the circle only. I'm not sure if the camera, there we go, a little bit. But yeah, so basically just the circle from the donut without the dot in the middle is the third and final option. But for me, like I said, I like to run just the dot only by itself. And in order to change those, you're just going to press the down button. Just so you guys know, you're going to hold it for a few seconds, and that's going to change the reticle. Like so. And again, that's the MOA, 2 MOA dot that I like to run or prefer on the 510C. But yeah, that's another perk of the 510C, is having 3 different options for your reticle. You're not just stuck with one. So, so far we have the field of view, the battery, the solar failsafe, the QD lever, and the multiple reticle options. So multiple perks of the 510C, and obviously the price point being around $300, give or take, at the time of this video, depending on what website you get it on, because this isn't an ad. I'm not sponsored by any means at all. This is just personal experience, so it doesn't really matter where you get it. But depending where you get it, it's going to be around $300 or so, which is a really, really good price point for what you get. All those perks that we talked about all inside of one optic. So definitely something to consider if you're looking for a red dot for your AR-15 or an open reflex sight. So yeah, real quick, the difference on an open reflex or a red dot is the red dot is going to be usually enclosed like a tube normally, and then the open reflex is going to have a bigger field of view, but the transmitter is going to be exposed a little bit. So again, bigger field of view, not a tube, is open reflex. And then the regular red dots, like your tube style Aimpoint T2s, etc. EOTechs or holographic sights, that's a different story. I just kind of wanted to go over what I mean by open reflex sight. So, but yeah, if you're looking for something that's going to be a long-term optic for your rifle that's going to last a while, I highly recommend the Holosun 510C. This thing has been really durable. I've dropped it, beaten it up plenty, ran it hard, and again, I haven't changed the battery in over 3 years, so this thing has been really solid. I highly recommend it. I hope I helped some of you guys, like I said, that are maybe in the market for a new red dot or have been looking at the 510C. I hope this video helped you guys out. So if you guys have any questions, make sure to shoot me a comment down below, and thank you guys for watching.